Welcome back. You should have completed your do now, asking you how well is the U.S. economy doing. So we're summarize how the economy is doing in your perspective, and how do you know that? All right, what sort of information proves that the economy is doing well or not? So a lot of answers you could have tried to respond with this. It could have said, yes, the economy is doing well. No, it's not, or it sort of is. You could have talked about employment or inflation or, you know, how much money everyone's making, all the different stuff, your ability to buy stuff, afford a house, anything like that. Lots of ways to look at this question. And that's going to be one of our goals today is to try and figure out how well is the economy doing and how do we know? So we're starting a new unit today. It's called macroeconomics. Now, the unit we just finished was microeconomics, so small scale, zooming in on one product or one industry. Macroeconomics is going to zoom out. It's going to look at the entire economy at once. So, all those different industries, all those products, all those jobs, everything all at once. We call that macroeconomics. So, we'll be looking at all suppliers, all demanders in the country all the time. How are they doing in general? So we'll be looking at big picture problems, also big picture solutions, um, general ideas affecting the whole population. And then we're going to talk about how the government gets involved. What's the government's role when it comes to the economy as a whole? Now, we know the government gets involved with things like minimum wage and price controls, but how do they try to impact the economy in general, not just specific products? So the first thing we're going to learn about for the next several days is going to be how do we measure the economy? How do we know if it's doing good? We can say things are going good or bad, but how do we know? What stats or facts or information do we need to prove things are doing well or not well? So today we're going to be looking at different what we call economic indicators. Now these are stats, numbers used to measure how the economy is doing. They indicate to us, they tell us if things are going well or not. And the government wants to know these different stats so they know where the economy is working, where it's not, what next steps they should be taking. If things are going good, maybe the government doesn't need to do anything. If the economy is doing okay, well, where's it not doing so good, and what can we do to make it better? How do we speed up or slow down the economy? All right, so the indicators we're going to be looking at in this class, first we have gross domestic product, GDP. This is the total amount of stuff produced in a country. Gross meaning total, domestic meaning within a country, product meaning the end number. All right, so the exact total amount of stuff made in a country. This is a dollar value. If we added up everything made in our country in 1 year, how much money is that? How much value is that? And obviously, this is a number you want to be big and increasing. Next, we have unemployment. This is going to be a percentage of people who are trying to get a job who can't get one. And so it's a look at how hard it is to get a job. And this is a number that obviously you want low. Next, we have inflation. Inflation is a measure of how prices change. Are they going up or down? But it's not looking at one specific thing. Just because, McDonald's went up in price, that's not necessarily inflation. If products across the board, all sorts of different products in our economy are all seeing a rise in price, that might be inflation. And inflation, you don't want it big, but you also don't want it too small. It's kind of a weird number where you want it, around 3 or 5%. And last, we have balance of trade. This is a measure of how much we buy from other countries versus how much they buy from us. Right? Are we more of a producer of products, or do we tend to buy from other countries? So this is a number you tend to want big, right, that you produce a lot and other people buy from you. But it can also be a negative number, meaning you buy from others more than you produce yourself. So today's activity, you'll have a reading that will cover these different indicators, and you have a note catcher to fill in. where you can explain what the indicator is, what does it do, what does it measure, and what does it mean if it's going up or down. If you have any questions, let me know.